Hello, friends. Welcome once again to the Group B show. Continuing with the tradition of bringing the best experts from around the world, we have with us none other than James. I'm sure you'll recall the best presenter from our startup ceremony back in Madrid. Hi, James. How are you?
Hi, I'm very well, thank you. Very pleased to be talking with you today.
Yeah, really appreciate your acceptance of the request. Welcome to the show. Could you please tell us a bit about yourself and your organization and how do you work with sustainability?
Sure, yeah. So I've been working in the sustainability field for probably around 7 or 8 years now, and I'm currently working at an organization called the World Business Council for Sustainable Development. And this is a business membership organization, so companies pay to become members of this organization based in Geneva in Switzerland. And it brings together around 200 leading multinational companies to try and find solutions to sustainability issues. So issues such as climate change, land degradation, pollution, water scarcity, human rights issues in the supply chain. This organization brings companies together to discuss A, how they can tackle some of these challenges, but B, and probably more importantly, how they can find business opportunities in tackling those challenges. So what is the business case for doing that? How they can scale up solutions and bring them to market with a view to contributing both to the planet and society, but also to the bottom line of the company.
Yeah. Is it that they come to you with a problem or you sort of persuade them to join to the group?
So it's a mix of both. So this organization's been around since the early 90s, and in that time it's already put a lot of work streams into practice. But of course, as thinking evolves around sustainability and more opportunities and more challenges emerge, then the work also evolves. And it may be a case that we have companies coming to us saying, we're really trying to tackle climate change, but we're really struggling with, leveraging the necessary finance, or we're struggling in putting in place the necessary power purchase agreements from renewable energy facilities. So we can then bring those companies together in the sort of what we call the pre-competitive space. So they work together to try and identify their common challenges, and then they look at solutions to how their business solutions can be scaled up.
Yeah, yeah. As they say, sustainability is now the key driver of innovation. Can you please share a few projects or examples either you yourself or your company has done, which has brought this sustainability and innovation together? And it need not necessarily be, from the technology world.
Yeah, sure. I think so. When you think about the word sustainability, you may, it's one of those words that's been around for a long time. Another phrase you may be familiar with is corporate social responsibility, which is probably the precursor to sustainability. And this idea previously that companies should be out there making money, but they need to show that they're interested in some of these environmental and social issues to keep the NGOs off their backs, or to protect their reputation and do a little something on the side in those areas. That's really sort of the old-fashioned thinking. And in a way, for me now, the word sustainability shouldn't really have to exist, because the key thing now is that there is only one way of future-proofing your business. If you're there to make long-term profits, if you're there to make long-term business success, you have to have a business model that fits in with the reality of the world we're operating in. And the reality is that our world is facing more economic and social and environmental pressures than possibly any time before. And in order to create a model that's going to be long-lasting and fruitful in the long term, you have to take into consideration these various challenges that the world is facing. And then this ultimately is a huge source of opportunity. The world is changing. We're seeing just this week how the UK government is introducing a raft of legislation around plastics, and many companies and supermarkets in the UK having to face the reality now of having to remove plastics from their products. Yeah. So this is, it's become a sort of a reputational and a risk issue very quickly, but those companies that are able to come up with the solutions around that face huge opportunities, and the companies that can come up with packaging solutions for them also have opportunities. One thing we believe very strongly at WBCSD in the sustainability space, it's about transformation. So the way we do things as a society, the way we do things as businesses, needs to continue to evolve. Some of these challenges are so big that they can't be met by solutions by one company alone. So different companies have to come together to develop solutions. And so one example from a member we have here within the company, I'll give it, is ArcelorMittal.
Oh yeah.
Who is a big
steel company.
Sure you're aware, steel company.
Yeah.
So huge exposure to externalities around CO2 emissions. But obviously limited amount they can do to offset that. Being a steel company, you have to have that coking coal going into the steel production process. One thing they've done, which is very pioneering, is come together with a partner organization called LanzaTech, who use a special type of enzyme which can then turn the CO2 produced into bioethanol, and then that bioethanol itself can then be sold as a low carbon fuel alternative, as a biofuel.
Yeah.
So you're taking your risk, which is your externality of carbon, and you're making that risk then work for you as a profit driver as another source of income.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't have been possible with one company on its own. It's about collaboration, and that's what we try to create here, is an environment where companies can come together to explore collaborative opportunities.
Yeah, especially then, if I understand, of course, this problem is much larger, and then your company provides a platform where many people can collaborate, or many companies can collaborate and solve a larger problem.
Exactly, yeah. That's right, yeah.
What can a company do? If I'm a small company or a large company, what can I do at my level to achieve sustainability?
Yeah, well, I think there's a lot that can be done at the lower level. It's an attritional problem, so it's raising awareness first is very important, and I think seeing and with individuals like yourselves who are sort of going to be the business leaders of tomorrow, if you're not already today. I'm sure some of you already are. But opening your mind to some of these issues that may not seem immediately business related. So you're scanning the FT, or you're scanning the Economist or whatever, and the temptation to look at the areas that only interest you or are directly interesting to you. But it's then looking at these other issues that are emerging on the sustainability sphere, so environmental and social issues. And if you can open up your mind and then start to be aware of these various trends that are emerging, the opportunities there are immense. And then taking your expertise, whether that expertise is in accounting, whether that expertise is in business development or in product innovation, but then using those skills to apply them to tackle some of these sustainability challenges is key. So one thing we're seeing now is the development of what we call natural and social capital protocols. So a way that companies can account for their impacts on the environment and account for their impacts on people. And this is proving more and more popular as governments are now looking more and more to integrate this idea of purpose around business. Business facing a lot of reputational issues through taxation issues, various corporate scandals going on. So more pressure than ever on companies to show that they're contributing positively to society. So even the accounting side of things is very relevant when it comes to sustainability. So I would say be aware of what's going on in this space, because it will become relevant to you, whatever your focus is. And then being aware of it will help you to stay ahead of the curve and perhaps identify opportunities in what is really a growth area.
Yeah. Thank you, James. It was really wonderful talking to you, and I hope it provides some inspiration to my classmates, who want to take up a career in sustainability after finishing their MBA. Thank you.
Sure, no problem.
Thank you.